Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students of Standard Ninth, welcome back to the online lecture series of Hera English School for the subject of Science 2. So, after the unit test, we are once again here to discuss the chapter which we left behind in the last lecture. So, the chapter which we were discussing, that is chapter number 9, which is environmental management, and in that we had discussed about what is weather, what is climate, the importance of meteorological department in our country, and today we are going to discuss some more topic of the same chapter. So dear students, the tradition of forecasting the monsoon season in India is older than 100 years. After the famine in 1877, H.F. Blandford, the founder of IMD, that is Indian Meteorological Department, has made such a prediction for the first time, taking the snowfall in the Himalayas as a parameter for this prediction. In the decade of the 1930s, the then director of IMD, Sir Gilbert Walker, had underlined the relationship between various worldwide climatic factors and the Indian monsoon. And based on available observations and previous recordings related to this relationship, he put forth a hypothesis regarding the nature of the monsoon. So what one should understand from this para, that how IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, makes prediction in the earlier years where there were no advanced technology. So there were some predictions. Predictions are the things which one can guess that this could happen. And they did so on the basis of various worldwide climatic factors which were available due to observations and previous recording which were done by different scientists. So that helped IMD in those days to predict about monsoon in India. With the initiative of Dr. Vasantrao Govarikar, in the decade of 1990s, a monsoon model based upon 16 worldwide climatic parameters was developed. This model was in use from 1990 to 2002. Now different models are available. Let us discuss them, which help us to forecast, to predict about monsoon and other climatic changes taking place in our country. Let us discuss one by one. Mathematical model, also called as dynamic model. Forecasts are made with the help of mathematical models which take into account estimates of current weather, related events, and ongoing physical interaction between them. So this model is dynamic, which means keep on changing, which is not still, active. Okay, the meaning of dynamic. So here the estimates of current weather, related events, and ongoing physical interaction between them is taken into consideration, and the data about current climatic parameters is mathematically analyzed with the help of Param supercomputer. So here the use of technology being taken, and on that basis different climatic parameters are analyzed mathematically with the help of supercomputer. Various mathematical models based on daily geographic events are developed by supercomputer technology. So what is done over here is taking consideration of various geographic events with the help of technology. Then there is another model called as holistic model. In this method, predictions are based upon those parameters used in other models which have the greatest effect on the monsoon. Nowadays, prediction declared by IMD are the collective outcome of various models. This is called as holistic model. So holistic models, under the holistic model, various factors which have great effect on the monsoons, they all are taken into consideration. That's why this model is called as holistic model. Now come the next one, statistical model. So in this model, current climatic observations in a region are compared with earlier parameters such as oceanic temperature, atmospheric pressure, and the nature of monsoon rainfall of several years. This data is comparatively analyzed by statistical method, and predictions are made about the monsoon in the present conditions. So in statistical model, current climatic observation of a region are compared with earlier parameters of the same region. Okay, so in this way the data which is obtained, comparing data of earlier days and comparing it with now, so they give out the statistical method and prediction about how the monsoon is going to be in that present condition of that particular region. And presently new models are being developed at the IITM. Okay, so there's an institute called as IITM. They are working on present newly models which could help the IMD to predict about the climatic changes more perfectly, more accurately. So work is in progress at two levels, namely designing new models and developing new technology. The main focus is on development of the radar system and satellite technology. So as it was told to you, how satellites help us to predict about the changes taking place in any part of the world, particularly if you talk about our country. So the satellites launched by ISRO helping the IMD to predict about the monsoon and about other climates in our country. Now this part, always remember, this part is got eliminated from your syllabus. Moving ahead, solid waste management need of the hour. Now we are moving towards to manage solid waste. So this part, can you tell? Okay, this got excluded. Try this. You have to observe garbage collected in the dustbin of your classroom and you have to list various materials in it. So as you people are sitting home, so you cannot do this, but at least you can see what garbage get collected in your home dustbin. Okay, you can do like that way. Okay, let us move ahead. Yeah, now you can observe this pic and you can discuss with your friends. Okay, so what is the main difference with what we see in the two picture alongside in figure number 9.2a and 9.2b? So here many waste materials are generated through various daily human activities. This is called solid waste. Okay, so if these waste materials are properly disposed of, there can be valuable source of energy. Now what happens, students? We throw waste here and there in our area. Okay, we keep our house clean but we keep our area dirty. So that is very problematic for all of us. Okay, and this lead to various environmental hazards, whether there is flood or the pollution taking place around us. So we need to be more careful. Currently solid waste is a serious worldwide problem as it causes both water and soil pollution. Solid waste is also a serious problem for the point of view of economic growth, environmental degradation and health. So we know all about this. Our environment get degraded and our health issues are also related with this solid waste. So it has posed a serious threat to nature and human habitat because of air, water and soil pollution that it causes. So we need to be very careful with regard to solid waste management. Now this part, do you know, again this is being excluded. Okay, yeah, now observe. You can make a survey of building or area where you live and categorize the garbage as degradable and non-degradable waste. So approximately how much solid waste is generated in a week, make a calculation. You can make a list of the factors responsible for it. Okay, you can do this. Can you tell? This part is to be not done for you now. So we make use of many materials and articles in our daily life. There are different kinds. Okay, they are of different kinds. Some of them are reusable, but others have to be discarded. However, if they are not properly disposed of, it affects the environment adversely. So we use so many things daily. We use them, we throw them. Okay, so some of them are reusable. We can make, something good out of it, and some are to be discarded. So if those which are discarded, if they are not properly disposed of, it means which we don't throw them properly, or we don't give to the environment in a proper way, then they can cause various harmful effects to our environment. Okay, so this is the table. Okay, so if you want, you can go through it, otherwise this part is also eliminated. So it's a table which classified domestic waste and the sources. Okay, you can go through it. These are different sources of domestic waste: industrial waste, hazardous waste, farm garden waste, electronic waste. Okay, all the sources. Biomedical waste, okay, very dangerous one. Urban waste, radioactive waste, very harmful. Mining waste. Okay, so the sources and the waste which are classified. The important one is this one, which we have to discuss. Basically, the waste are classified of two types. One is biodegradable waste and the one is non-biodegradable waste. So let us discuss about biodegradable waste. This type of waste is easily degraded by microbes. So the waste which can be decomposed by microorganisms, those waste are called as biodegradable waste. It mainly includes kitchen waste. Okay, the waste which generate in a kitchen. What are they? Those are spoiled food, fruits, vegetables. Okay, the peeling of fruits like banana peeling, orange peeling, okay, watermelon peelings, all those things which we throw, those are biodegradable, right? Even the leftover of vegetables, all those things can be get biodegradable. Ash, soil, dung, parts of the plants, etc. So this waste is mainly of organic type and is also called wet solid waste or wet garbage. If it is carefully decomposed, we can get compost and fuel of good quality from such. Such biofuel projects have been started in many cities. So if this waste, which we call them as wet solid waste or wet garbage, these are properly decomposed, we can make a biofuel out of it. And biofuel are the need of the hour. These are in much demand in the market. Okay, and in many cities such projects have been started already. Now let us discuss about non-biodegradable waste. This type of waste is not easily degraded because it requires very long period of time and the use of various techniques. It includes plastic, metal, other similar materials, and this type of waste is called dry solid waste or dry garbage. So this non-biodegradable waste are those wastes which do not get degraded in our environment. Microbes, their microbial action does not occur on them. Okay, so these are non-biodegradable waste and also called as dry solid waste or dry garbage. So examples which are given over here are plastic, metal, and other similar material. So basically the waste are divided into biodegradable, non-biodegradable. Remember this is a very important topic. Now use your brain power is again eliminated from the syllabus. So for today this much is enough. Inshallah next time we'll discuss further topic of the chapter. By the time, read what the part which is being taught to you in this video. Go through it. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.